and the Gender Recognition Reform Scotland Bill is passed.
He thought it was wrapped up by Christmas. As the bill was passed at Holyrood, supporters of gender recognition reform stood up to applaud. But less than a month later, campaigners who had been celebrating are now commiserating, like Vic.
There has been so many kind of discussions in the media and in our politics about trans people's lives, and that's often been really hard because not everyone knows a trans person, not everybody knows what the reality of our lives are like, and some of those conversations have felt really out of touch and like they don't reflect the reality of what it is to be a trans person. So I think after having that moment of kind of thinking that we had this thing to celebrate and that this process for updating birth certificates for trans men and women was going to be made so much simpler and fairer, to kind of have that no longer be the case, it is really difficult.
Relieved is how this campaigner against the changes described how she was feeling, saying they'd been warning the bill would impact on UK legislation for years.
The MP Caroline Noakes, who's chair of the Women and Equalities Committee at Westminster, she said today that this doesn't impact the Equality Act at all.
Well, it impacts on how the Equality Act works.
She says it doesn't.
Well, OK, let's say it like this. There's always a difference between the law as written and the law as applied.
The bill, 6 years in the making, was passed with cross-party support, and an MSP on the committee which looked at the legislation says they addressed concerns now being raised by the UK government.
It's worried about the numbers of people that could fraudulently claim a gender recognition certificate. Is that something that you're aware of?
It was discussed in committee, and when we took evidence, when we gathered information from international examples that already have self-declaration as the process for getting legal recognition, that hasn't come up. So I think it's a question we asked in committee, and there was no evidence.
Relations between this place and Westminster were already, well, frosty. With a legal challenge on the cards, any thaw is a long way off, and some are left worrying when it'll be resolved. Alan Jenkins, 5 News.